Good morning. This is Smart Mado Ajaja. I'm the convener of Open Nigeria and Africa Unite and the anchor of Nigeria Now, Global Matters Arising. Good morning, Africa, and reggae at its best on ONN. Today is a very bright day here in Houston, Texas, United States of America. And today we're going to consider an issue, very serious issue, nurse violence that took place at the Federal Medical Center in Abeokuta, Nigeria, involving the chief of the nursing department, the head of nursing department, and one Oluwakemi Basirat Odusola, who was assaulted and nearly lost her life. We're going to be, if you are just joining us for the very first time, please subscribe to our channel, give us a like, and be ready to share this post so it can go viral and get to as many persons as possible. And I'm going to read certain things. These are not my words. Information that we got about what happened that led to the alleged assault and the rebuters that came forward. So this is a message for all Nigerians, and this is a message for especially nurses who may be watching today. If you are a nurse, a Nigerian nurse, please, and you are watching this program today, make sure that you share it. Violence is not anything good for anybody, no matter what it is. Yes. So, and we're going to be talking about violence on nurses generally, and how nurses react to violence and situations that violates their basic human rights. First, as human beings, and then as service personalities. So, we're going to be getting back and getting into the details of all this. And if you look at watch the screen here, there is a number to call. If you want to call in during this program, please, the number to call in is 713 281 5435. Once again, 713 281 5431. Before I go into the process of reading the documents available to me, I'm going to make one clarification. Yes, a friend of mine brought to my attention about this dress that I have on, that is representative of IPOB, that is the indigenous peoples of Biafra. Yes, even though that is not true, I love the indigenous people of Biafra. I love them. What they are doing in Nigeria is right, and they are exercising their basic human right. And that right is enshrined in the United Nations Charter and in the African Charter of Human Rights, the right to self-determination. And that right actually is enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria. But to make it clear, this has nothing to do with Biafra. And I think the Biafran people are smart. This is the original African flag. That is what I have. So I'm going to take my time to explain it to you. The black is the color of our skin, the black people, representative of the black race. The green is the vegetation. Yes, the arable land that, for sadly, we are not able to cultivate enough to feed our own people. The yellow represents the sunshine, and the red represents the blood of our people that have been shared for generations. So I hope that this makes it clear to everybody. I am not an IPO, but I love them. If I tell you that I don't love them, I'll be stupid. Very stupid. I love them. I love what they are doing. I love that they are fighting for their rights in a country where people are scared of standing up for anything. Yes, they are. They are good. Yes. Uh, yes. So the Biafran people are smart to adopt the African color as their color. Yes. So if this tallies with their color, well, it's a coincidence. I don't have anything against them. I'm never going to be in their way. I am not going to pick up a gun to fight them. Those who are fighting them are ignorant Nigerians who don't understand what right is what. So that's what Bob Marley said. If you know what right is what, then you will look for yours right here on earth. because that's all that you need to navigate through your lifetime. All right. I hope that makes it clear, so we can keep rolling. All right. We'll be right back. All right. Now, I am going to read the media report that led to this statement that we will get. All right. Senior nurse fought professional misconduct as root cause of the crisis in FMC Abeokuta. All right. HOD denies assault. This according to Sahara reports. Reporters insist no water excuses was false. Police petition filed as management probes incident. All right. Now let's go into the matter. All right. And I believe that before I go into this matter, let me just, say what scantily, some nurses sent to me and from reports that I got. There was a water issue in a department at FMC, FMC Abeokuta. They have this clinic for those who are on catheter. And on this particular day, there was shortage of water in that department. The doctors came. They wanted to start their activities for the day, but there was no water. And this not Oluwakemi Basirat, was there. Basirat Odusola, is a CNO, Chief Nursing Officer. That's ranking, you know, uh, professional nurse in Nigeria. Because when I was in Nigeria, CNO was like the biggest. So I don't know what it is right now. And she's a CNO. I think is in charge of that department. So she told them, she explained the predicament that they had. And to the extent that really, nurses in Nigeria, I tell nurses, sometimes I get frustrated. I just decided to say something on this case because a lot of times, when you try to help the nurses in Nigeria, they betray you, they stab you in the back. But this is one too many. So I decided to say, okay, let me, say something about it. This is the reason I'm doing this. We have been made, nurses in Nigeria are made like, they are used like rags. Professionals used like rags, treated below humans. Yes, they do all kinds of things, jack of all trades and masters of none. So this lady went about looking for water according to what was reported. To they fetch water. Water ahead of the doctor's visit. And on this day, there was no water. She even made effort to go somewhere else to get some water, according to what was reported. And then one of the security officers came, maybe at the top management level, came, and then she explained to him what they are going through and stuff like that. He promised to take it up with the management, which he did, and that is normal. The nurses are the eyes of the hospitals. When there's anything going wrong, they are the first to be notified. And they have a moral and professional obligation to report what their findings are. And she did, according to the reports. And the security man took it to the management up for discussion. A discussion was made in that direction. I believe the head of nursing department was informed, and maybe perhaps, and then she furiously came to this lady who was improvising, as always that nurses in Nigeria do. We're always improvising. I did a lot of improvisations while I was a nurse in Nigeria. And it sounded perhaps like she started, according to them, asking her, I hope you did not report us to the management. I hope what was wrong with reporting something that was not working to the management? What was wrong with the reporting? Well, then why are you there as a nurse? So, and she was telling her, you have to use your number six. You don't use your number six. Yeah, you should have found a way to buy some water. Excuse me, that is not her hospital. Anyway, as usual, I know so much about the attitude of nurses in Nigeria because I was a serial victim. I know how they behave. And this is why I talk to the young generation of nurses. You got to remove yourselves from this chain. We're in the 21st century. If not for what and who I am, I would never have graduated from School of Nursing, regardless of how smart I was in school. They would just want to sit in your way, and hide behind ethics to perpetrate evil. Now they went to their nurses management level, a bunch of lazy people, as always. You will see them very lazy people. Oh, I'm CNO, I'm this, I'm that. But they can't do a damn thing. They put together a panel and invited this woman. And it was in the process, and they subjected the ground on canvas. The head nurse attacked her, and she ended in the hospital. And if you are watching, let me just send you back. Look at her nose. She was bleeding there. And she said according to them, she was said to have bled for a couple of days. She landed in the hospital. And then when the media got involved, she denied that. So I'm going to read what she said. So the word we hear. And I'm going to call her during this interview. I tried to reach her yesterday, but she did not pick her phone. All right. A senior nurse, a senior officer in the nursing department of the Federal Medical Center, FMC, Idiaba Abeokuta, has described the controversy trailing an alleged assault on a chief nursing officer as a case of outright professional misconduct, faulting the refusal of a nurse to carry out her clinical duty as the remote cause of the crisis. The officer, who spoke on condition of anonymity, said the incident, as always, anonymity, said the incident stemmed from a failure to prepare a catheter tray for a medical procedure, contrary to established nursing practice, stressing that water was available in the unit at the time, despite claims to the contrary. In the first place, In the first place, in the first place, in the 21st century, nurses are not supposed to be preparing trays for any doctor to do something as simple as catheterization. And this is a reflection of the disaster, the failure of Nigeria. In the 21st century, there are still certain trays in Nigeria. That's an outdated procedure. Catheter packs come and you including everything that you need. What do they need the water for? What do they need water for? To insert a catheter. The packs are there with everything, with the saline, with the catheter, with everything sterile, with the gloves and every damn thing that you need to get the procedure done. You don't need water. So that is a reflection of the disastrous failure of Nigeria that I've been talking about. That subjects nurses to being treated like animals. What is the use of water? Anyway, that's a comment on that one. She explained that a doctor had requested a tray for catheter change, but the nurse allegedly declined on the ground that there was no water to wash the tray due to an ongoing strike by some non-clinical workers. According to her, water was preserved in three different locations within the unit, including the patient and staff's toilets and treatment rooms. She further disclosed that inquiries revealed that the nurse had never set a tray in the unit since her posting almost a year earlier, adding that the first thing we do in the morning is to set trays for procedures of the day clinic. The senior officer faulted the nurse for failing to think outside the box, noting that as a chief nursing officer, she should have explored alternatives such as sourcing sachet water. Can you imagine that? Sourcing sachet water. Sourcing sachet water, really? Or instructing junior staff to fetch water from neighboring clinics. Nigeria. Failure on all fronts. This is disgraceful. This is appalling. For me, everything about this matter is professional misconduct. She said, criticizing the nurse for failing to inform her head of unit, sectional head, or co-administrator, and for instead turning a patient away, including those who had been on catheter for weeks and could suffer severe pain if catheter care was delayed. She said management was intermittently pumping water into the facility, adding that many senior nurses often personally sourced water to keep services running during the strike. What a country. Meanwhile, the head of nursing department, HNS, FMS Abeokuta, Nurse Abosede Fagoyimbo, yes, the attacker, had dismissed allegations that she assaulted a chief nursing officer, Nurse Oluwakemi Odusola, describing the claims as malicious and unfounded. The clarification followed reports that Odusola was assaulted during a meeting convened after she allegedly refused to provide water for clinical services on January 15, 2026. Odusola had claimed that Fagoyimbo assaulted her while questioning her at the instance of the hospital management. Fagoyimbo, however, said Odusola was invited to defend an allegation of negligence of duty after she failed to set a catheter tray for the medical team, a responsibility she allegedly declined on the excuse that there was no water, which was later found to be untrue. She stated that during the meeting, Odusola became unruly while being Odusola became unruly. She stated that during the meeting, Odusola became unruly while being advised on the need to go extra mile. Extra mile to ensure patients were treated and for failing to notify her superior of the situation. On the said date, the nurse in question was asked by the medical team to prepare catheterization trays for urology patients. The request she turned down, saying it was not part of her job. And actually, it's not her part of her job. All right. She turned down because it was not part of her job. She she said, adding that water was available in the treatment room and toilets, contrary to Odusola's claim. The HNS further disclosed that Odusola was later issued a query, which she ignored, while her colleagues responded within the stipulated period. She described the assault allegation as an attempt to cover up shortcomings and seek public sympathy, insisting that no form of assault was recorded against Odusola by her or any other officer. Fagoyimbo also noted that over 23 senior nurses were present at the meeting where the alleged assault took place and called for a thorough investigation to clear her name and that of the hospital. She urged the public to disregard what she termed a deliberate attempt at blackmail and allow internal mechanisms to run their course. Thank you. All right. However, the controversy has since taken a legal turn following an open petition by the Elegant Nurses Forum, ENF, to the Commissioner of Police, Ogun State, demanding the arrest and prosecution of Fagoyimbo for alleged assault and attempted murder. The group claimed that Odushola was violently pushed, lost her consciousness, and bled from the mouth, nose, and ears, and later suffered further threats while on sick leave. The petition cited relevant sections of the criminal codes on assault, yes, grievous harm, and attempted murder, and called for a thorough police investigation and prosecution and protection for the victim and witnesses. Reacting to the petition, another officer of the FMC, Abeokuta, dismissed the allegation as fabricated, saying they are just trying to cook lies here. Something like that did not happen in the center. They just want to scatter the place. He also questioned the legitimacy of the Elegant Nurses Forum, asking whether it was a recognized union or association in Nigeria. The usual question. Hospital management has confirmed that the matter is under investigation as FMC Abeokuta crisis continues to generate tension within the nursing community and the wider public. Yeah, that was a report fired by Sahara reporters. Yes. And, this is sad. This is sad. All right. Okay. And there was a reaction by the Elegant Nurses Forum that I'm going to have to read before we go into the main discussion of this. We welcome all those who are joining us for the very first time, and we urge you to subscribe to our channel and click the notification button so that when we come online for very important things like this, you'll be one of those to be notified. We appreciate your patience. We appreciate your presence. And please, if you're a nurse, Nigerian nurse, or a Nigerian for that matter, who hates violence and against fellow human beings, I call you to share this message so it can get to as many people as possible. All right. Press statement for immediate release. Elegant Nurses Forum, ENF. All right. Elegant Nurses Forum, ENF, has been reliably informed, following media reports by Sahara reporters, that the Inspector General of Police, IGP, has ordered an investigation into the alleged assault and attempted murder involving Chief Nursing Officer CNO at the Federal Medical Center. We acknowledge and commend this step as it signals a willingness to allow the law to take its course in a matter of grave public concern. This is the first time some of us will witness the IGP showing act of responsibility for once since his assumption into that office. All right. However, reports also indicate that the head of nursing department or nursing services, who is alleged to be connected to this case, was invited by the police for questioning, but the process was reportedly obstructed. It is alleged that the chief security officer, CSO, and the elements of FMC management resisted the police investigation, citing public service rules, PSR, and insisting that the correspondence must pass through the CSO's office. We find this deeply troubling, as usual. Nigeria, that's Nigeria. For the sake of public understanding, it is important to clarify a key legal distinction. Civil administration matters may follow internal institutional procedures. Criminal allegations, especially those as serious as attempted murder, yes, fall squarely within the jurisdiction of law enforcement agencies. In such cases, the police have the statutory authority to invite, question, or apprehend suspects in line with the Nigerian law. No level of seniority in civil service confers immunity from criminal investigation. Attempted murder is not a minor infraction that can be brushed aside. Yes, through bureaucratic bottlenecks. Shielding a suspect from lawful investigation undermines justice, weakens public trust, and sends a dangerous message that some individuals are above the law. ENF is also aware of a purported audio recording in circulation in which the suspect allegedly speaks without remorse and boasts of high level political connections, claiming to be untouchable and suggesting the matter will be forgotten soon. We call for a proper forensic review of any such matters as part of an independent investigation. If authentic, such statements would further underscore the urgent need for impartial law enforcement action free from institutional interference. It is disturbing that a federal health institution entrusted with saving lives is now associated in public discourse with actions that appear to obstruct justice. Leadership requires responsibility, transparency, and accountability. At the very least, standard administrative practice in serious misconduct cases would require that the officer concerned step aside to allow for an unbiased investigation. Failure to do so erodes staff morale and public confidence. Yes, public conversation have also raised broader concerns about perceived power struggle between institutional authorities and the police and the office of the IGP. Why the ENF will not speculate on the political interpretations, we stress that no office or official should act in a way that appears to undermine lawful criminal investigations. The rule of law must remain supreme. Our demands. The Elegant Nurses Forum therefore calls for one, an immediate, independent, and transparent police investigation into the alleged assault and attempted murder. Unhindered access for public for law enforcement to invite and question any individual connected to the case without institutional obstruction. Three, the temporary stepping aside of the implicated NS to ensure the integrity of the investigation. 4. Protection of witnesses and whistleblowers to prevent intimidation or retaliation. 5. Public clarification from FMC management on their role in responding to police inquiries. 6. A firm assurance from the Nigerian police that no individual will be treated as above the law, regardless of status or connections. The nursing profession is built on ethics, care, and accountability. We will not remain silent where violence, abuse of power, or obstruction of justice is alleged within the healthcare institutions. Justice must not only be done, but must be seen to be done. The ENF will continue to monitor developments and pursue all lawful avenues to ensure accountability and the protection of healthcare professionals. He signed Nurse Abiodun Olamide for the elegant nurses. Now, the questions. Now, the questions. Are you a nurse watching this program today? You know, part of the biggest problems we have is the nurses in Nigeria are gagged. And they accepted that as a norm. But I tell you that, first of all, consider yourself first as a human being with a set of rights: the right to your life, the right to choice, the right to freedom of expression, the right to freedom of expression, the right to worship whatever you describe as God, and the right to self-determination. These are all basic human rights, and they are all sacrosanct, given only by the Almighty God and not no man. I understand Nigeria so well. That is why I've been at odds with the Nigerian system. I was a serial victim of Nigeria. I was a victim more as a nurse, a student nurse. It was a rebellion from year one to the year of graduation. I understand. And that's why it hurts me when I see the younger generation of nurses still lining in. I made a serious effort to inspire the reconfiguration of how nurses think and act. But I was resisted by the same people that I thought I was fighting for. And not until the nurses of Nigeria wake up and start asserting themselves first as human beings and then as professionals, this trajectory will continue. Nothing is going to change. Yes, something has to shift. You are human beings. I've lived here in the United States for nearly 30 years. I've never seen nurses so badly treated. Nobody treats nurses. Nurses are very respected. They are respected by all. They are respected by the doctors. They are respected by every other member of the healthcare delivery team because they understand their pivotal role. They are the coordinators of everything. You don't disrespect nurses and get away with it. And fellow nurses don't disrespect one another the way it is done in Nigeria. And it becomes a generational problem when you inherit it and you begin to practice it. And then the next nurse, the next generation of leaders will say, okay, it's our turn. And then this evil will continue. Can't we have a new generation of right thinking nurses? Nurses who will be really thoroughly professional and they show respect for one another as colleagues before anything. Yes. You know, in order to, I'm going to have to call this Fagoyimbo woman. Let me see if she's going to pick up her phone. I called yesterday, but I wasn't able to connect. Let me see. So it will be fair to her. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, am I speaking with Nurse Fagoyibo Basirat?
No.
Oh, no?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, somebody gave me this number, and I thought that was, and I tried to reach out to this number yesterday, but my call was not.
There's a mix up now. What? There's a mix up.
What is the mix up, ma'am?
They are saying Fagoyibo Basirat is not my name.
Okay, which one is your name? Oh, Ganiad Fagoimbo, right?
Yes.
Okay, then you are the right person that I'm trying to reach out to. My name is
Okay.
my name is Smart Mado Ajaja. I am
Okay.
I'm the convener of Open Nigeria and the CEO of ONN. I am based in the United States. I run a media organization. I tried actually yesterday to call you about a situation in FMC, Abeokuta, involving you and one Oluwakemi, who is a chief nursing officer at the hospital. So we wanted to hear your part of the story. Yes, I saw it in Sahara Reporters, and a lot of nurses have been calling me, about the situation. So that is why I decided to call you, to find out from you what actually happened.
Okay. Thank you very much. But I've been, let me say, resisted from addressing the media by the management of our center.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes, because it is against the public service rule, and that without exploring all internal mechanism of conflict resolution, civil servant is not permitted to be granted press.
Yeah. Yeah, but the allegation against you is so grievous that goes beyond the purview of the civil service rule. I mean, this is carries some elements of criminality, an attempted murder, assault. I don't think the civil service rules, and imprisons citizens from enforcing their rights, to freedom of expression and the sought for justice in situations like this. And we are aware that this matter is actually in the with the Inspector General of Police has ordered investigation into it. So I don't know what is about uh, this internal conflict resolution mechanism, because I saw a patient, I saw somebody bleeding from the nose, I saw someone who was hospitalized, and I mean, I think that is more serious than whatever anything. But if you don't have to say anything if you don't want to say anything. But I just wanted to let you know that this thing, in order to be fair to you, so that when we broadcast, we're going to be talking about this seriously. Yeah, I'm a nurse myself. Yes.
Well, okay, yes. Well, I've told you the reason why I don't want to speak with any media.
Okay.
For you to know the truth. For you to know the truth. I am the head of nursing services and a director of nursing by position. On the 15th of January 2026. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I hear you loud and clear.
The medical director put a call through to me at around 2 p.m. and lodged a complaint with heightened emotions that nursing services department of Federal Medical Center in Abeokuta are turning down patients, hiding under Joesus strike. That is Joint Health Sectors Union.
Yes.
that are nurses on strike, that the same thing 2 weeks ago at the pediatric outpatient department, that the pediatricians complained that whenever patient comes, nurses will say, don't you hear there is strike? And that very day, when she was not embittered, was the fact that patients who came to change their catheter were turned down by our nurses at the urology clinic. Are you still with me?
Yes.
So, and I said, okay, let me go and find out. She further stated that the Ministry of Health has issued no work, no pay, and that she should enforce all manners of force to make sure we are running services. And I said, no problem.
All manners of force. Wow, that's strong.
No, you don't understand that she can utilize a security outfit. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
When I'm saying force, I'm not saying violence. So that
Okay.
you can use security outfit to ensure peace in the hospital so that nobody disturb patients from accessing care. So that's okay, I've heard. Let me go and find out for fair hearing, just like you are doing, so that I will not just assume that nurses are turning down patients. I immediately called. I had 2 nurses with me because we are doing some clinical assignment. I said, well, this is a concern raised by the medical director. Let's go and find a solution to it. I called an emergency meeting. 1, to ask all the unit heads to at least present minimum things that they will need to be attending to patients, which we normally do. And then the people they allege at the clinic that day should be invited. Let's hear from them. So the meeting was held. The deputy, my deputy has even started asking them, is it true that you turn down patients? So when I came, I continued, I said, okay, why I explained to them what the medical director, the concern of the medical director. But that day, why did you turn down patients who needed their catheters to be changed at the urology clinic? So the nurse who happened to be the head of the shift that day, Nurse Odusola, OP, she's a chief nursing officer. Mm-hmm. Why did you allow patients to be turned down? She now explained that when the doctors came, they asked her to set the tray. But she told them there is strike. There was no water to wash the tray. The medical officer now asked her, what should she do? What will he do? He now said he should go and tell the consultant that the consultant will know what to do. So those medical officers informed the consultant urologist. They called their head of department of surgery and they discharged those patients. So at that point, we now told her, I told her which others too has even done before my arrival, that as a chief nursing officer, you have your own hierarchy and upline managers. We were in a meeting in the morning. You are not supposed to wait until doctor came to ask for the catheterization tray before you are telling them you don't have water. You are supposed to let us know. You know where we are holding our clinical meetings. You are supposed to tell your unit head, put a call through to her. You have 2 young nurses working with you. Rather than allowing those patients to go home without accessing care. That imagine if you have this patient as one of your own. I said, I know you will go extra mile to make sure they are sorted out. I now ask our unit head, why is it that you didn't prepare the unit for your staff to have water? That one said they have water, that they even have reserve at their treatment room. So that was what triggered annoyance in her. Because at that time, it was very obvious that it was our own negligence of duty. And I said, well, no problem. Let them give them query. Those people at the pediatric and patient department and herself. You know, that time she threw a temper tantrum. She was saying, I know you hate me. I said, I did not hate you. In the last 1 year, I've not set my eyes on you. It was the medical director, and I had 2 eyewitnesses that when she put a call through to me, that we have to turn back. We have to stop what we are doing to come and say, this and this are what happened. So she said, I hate her. In fact, she became so restless, throwing her leg, throwing her arms. And some of her friends even came from the back because it was not in my office. I called a meeting to our nurses' break room where we have more than 23, I mean, maybe 20 to 30 nurses. And a minute to that effect was taken. I said, why should I hate you? Why? But let's address it. You are supposed to report a matter to your upline managers. Before the matter should even get to me, you should have put a call through to your HOU. We even broke it. We cascaded our activities into section. That you should have told your sectional head. And if you don't have water, we will tell our head of clinical services, who will equally tell the MD. And that day, MD even said she told the security officer to use keg jerry can to take water down. But as at that time, they had already turned down those patients. They didn't attend to those patients. So the subject of the matter is unethical practices and negligence of duty. So while we are trying to address it, that she should be more careful about her work, that I posted her out of gynae ward where she was working to that less demanding area because of unethical behaviors, unethical practices, and unprofessional and this series of misconduct. And I've not been going there. I didn't even go there. I didn't do round to our unit that time. So when she was throwing her leg, throwing this thing, some of our friends who came and they sat her on a chair. You should at least respect the HOD. My deputy stood where she was sitting and used her hand to close her 2 lips. That why is it that anytime you rather than listening, you're always looking for a defense to get out of the problem rather than learning. That you're not the only one affected in this matter. Other nurses have listed and they said, okay, henceforth, they will adjust. Why can't you be quiet? That's why she was shouting, ranting, and they took her out. She walked out of the meeting, and I said, okay, they should be giving departmental queries. The rest of the people, that was on a Thursday, 15th of January. The rest people responded. She didn't respond until Sunday, 18th of January, around this time in the evening, that some people, some of our members started calling me. That's Sunday evening. That, Oga, Nurse Odusola has started posting her pictures on the social platform that they saw a picture bleeding from the nose. And she now put a caption, see me, this is what I suffer since I have argument with the HOD nurse. So I didn't even say anything. I look at another platform, which is the organization platforms. She posted herself on her page on that platform too. Then, in the evening of that day, around 8 p.m., I got a threat call, a call unknown number. When I pick it, it was, I am a doctor. The person mentioned his name, that is a doctor, is a nurse Odusola sister, that they will do this for me. They will do this, but I didn't even answer. When I realized it was a threat, I only noted the number. Another number now called me, start threatening me again. And I wrote my report on the 19th, and I forwarded it to the director of administration. I explained to him, he said I should send it to the medical director. I think on Wednesday 22, I was working too. When one of the online bloggers, somebody brought it again to me that, Oga, look at this matter. And as at that time, she was at work, working, that they said you hit her, you push her, she broke her side. I said push her. I didn't push her. That many people were there. It wasn't in my office. It was an open meeting in our nurses' break room. So when I noticed that, I forwarded the publication to the hospital PRO. And those ones said, yeah, I shouldn't respond though. So when I now saw the way the thing was trending, well, I didn't see anything. But I notified the management that I didn't like this character assassination because the way it is trending is blackmailing. What they told me, it is sensational news. I should not bother myself. I now got a call from a Sahara reporter asking me, just like you are trying to balance the story now. And I told them that it wasn't, we don't have physical combat. I don't have any reason to push her, but that is the way she always finds a way out of facing the reality on ground. So I explained to those one. And when my management saw it, they blamed me for granting the interview that it is against the PSR. So that is why it has been going and going and going and going. So, and if those people, if you can come to our organization, you can come and find out. She's like a disgruntled staff, uncooperative, and we keep moving her from one unit to the other because I have series of allegations of misconduct, professional misconduct, being there. She has poor performance, poor relationship, both with staff and with patients. And we have evidences to show for it. I think she had more than 5 record of misconduct since I became the HOD. We only call meeting and give her verbal warning. I've only given her one query. But in a departmental file, we realize even previous HODs they have set up series of disciplinary committee against her because at least if that investigation can still be cascaded. Because when social media trend, most of them, they don't balance their investigations. And I remember on the 16th, when Fresh FM in Ogun State was analyzing that story, the moderator in the studio told them that this thing is work-related, that should go investigate and take it up. And he pleaded, and I'll send it to you, he pleaded that the management should look into it and pleaded with the media to please. But I don't know whether they have some political interest in it. That is why they make it to trend. But any trained professionals will not be spreading false rumor. Because if you look at the first public online blogger that published it, Amebo, said she had injury, she sustained this, she sustained that. When Sarah reporter we carry it, Sarah reporter said she was bleeding from the orifices, she collapsed, and attempted murder. What do they have to prove that? Do they have any footage? Did I hit her? Did I carry knife? So those allegations are baseless. It is unfounded. And that's why it cannot see the light of the day. I used to refer to it as dead on arrival. Except the people who knows Nurse Odusola. Nurse Odusola went to party Saturday before she posted a picture on Sunday. And in her case note, she's always going to, rather than sitting to work, always going, and you even have a diagnosis of malignant hypertension or manners. And malignant is a kind of idleness, laziness in medical practice. So I don't have issue with her. I don't push her, and she cannot say it to my face because I was not the only one at that meeting. It was the medical director who sent me as a management staff, as the HOD, and she was not the only one in fault in this matter. Others are doing their work. She too, she's doing her work. She has been doing her work. We had discussion to verify and clarify what happened on Thursday. She was wearing skirt and blouse white. If I've assaulted her, I'm sure we will not leave that failure of that meeting. We will not. And this is not the first time she'll be walking out of the meeting. We used to give her money. I like to give them money. But in her record, all the HODs, she had issue that have given her queries and have given her warning. So that is why it is good to balance. I took time to explain to you because if I'm banking on the PSR as I've been warned, you may go with the impression that maybe I committed the offense. I called Amebo's blogger that why did you not balance your story? He said, they called me. My phone, I was dropping. I said, you didn't know me before. I didn't know you. You know FMC. At least you give me the benefit of the doubt. That day, I worked with the management, the medical director, from morning till night. Rather than publishing unbalanced story, why did you not try and make effort to reach out to me. Nurse Odusola and our collaborators are diverting public opinion and public attention from addressing the unprofessional and unethical attitude and misconduct. And that's why they are looking for all manners of excuses as a way out. When you sit down properly to study their report, you will realize there are a lot of conflicting reporting. Odusola is working everywhere, moving around. You said she collapsed, attempted murder. What is the definition of attempted murder? Was I holding cane? Was I holding knife? Was I holding stone? Or did I push her? Did she fall? But I realized most now the only negative aspect of social media is what we are seeing, the fallout. I'm not a junior staff, and I know my rights. I understand ethics and principle of work, and we have reports of that meeting.
Okay, so you mean there was no physical contact between you and her?
No.
So and there were the people there can testify to this fact that there was no such contact.
Why not? Why not? Investigation is already going on. Truth is already being unfolded. If they continue to indulge her, if they continue to indulge her, it then means nothing. There'll be nothing we will call nothing in the future. If
what?
This type of
Go ahead.
Attitude is being controlled rather than facing the reality on ground. And people are trying to cover up with all manners of untrue, unfounded stories to cover up their misdeed. I wonder what we call nothing in the future.
Well, thank you very much.
It was not done.
Go ahead.
Sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I've attended to her in my office alone, this thing would have been something else. But it was an open meeting in an open space where we are more than 20, because we have the attendance and we have the responses of some of the leaders who attended that meeting. Challenge that if you could tell the doctor, the medical officer, to tell the consultant, why did you not tell your own next upline manager? You didn't tell your HOD, and you didn't regard us as your senior. That is what it means. And if you want to find out the truth, come, I will give you a departmental files. This is not the first time that certain FMC. That was a year, sir. I was the one who went to defend her from one of the misconducts. I was the one. She said I hated her. Last year, we did birthday party for our department. January celebrant, February celebrant. I spent money on her, among other people. Why should I hate her? But because she doesn't like to work. Do you know one thing, sir, before I forget? When the unit head told me they have water, they even put reserve. You know, we are in Nigeria, not like the UK, that they even have about 3 buckets in their treatment room. And the woman was so concerned that she regretted leaving Sienna Odusola OB as the most senior on duty today. That Oga, since November 14, that Joeso has started their strike. They have been running the clinic without itch. That it is only today that she's heading the shift that they're having issue. That she will sit, she will not work, and they're the one doing all the work for her. So she doesn't know the protocol of the unit. That That one said, that for you to know that we used to have water, we run clinic daily without each since November 14 that the JSU started strike. So I didn't hit her. We call her, please, what happened? So that we will not lean or back on MD's complaint. That was it. We didn't ask her to go and fetch water. It is not our responsibility to fetch water, but our responsibility is effective communication. Head of clinical services, my nurses don't have water to do their work. My nurses don't have consumables to. Those are the things we're challenging her for. That if doctors follow their own line of hierarchy and they report up to their HOD surgery took the matter to the ND. You left us in the dark and you are making the ND to feel that we are not competent. That was the issue. Nothing more. Until Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You now said everybody senior. You posted yourself. If she's in coma and I've attempted murder against her, she was one who put a picture on her platform. She put it on Odusola's platform herself. So, but I've seen it as a fallout of social media. So that's why I'm not bothered. I know truth will prevail. The matter has been investigated by the management.
Okay. 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 Thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate that you took time to join me to talk about this issue, even though they told you that you were on a gag order to know. Now I'm going to ask you a question on professionalism, especially as it affects nursing in Nigeria. So I'm taken aback that at this age in the 21st century that nurses are still setting trays for doctors for procedures like that. They're not since I've been here since the past 30 years in the United States. There is no more trays. Doctors don't need you to change catheter. Everything comes in a pack. When they come, they pick it up and then do their thing and go away. So how come that we are still battling with water? You are a senior management official. So what do you guys do? Talk about to improve healthcare delivery system in Nigeria?
Sir, professionalism is about international best practices and standards. And you and I, before I'm sure you must have practiced before you left for United States.
Yes.
The environment you work in the United States is different from the environment we practice in Nigeria. And we don't have issues with water, with light. At least the government do the what they can do. I know the management will only work based on the healthcare funding made available to them. This particular issue was as a result of strike by some members of the healthcare system in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. We call them joint health sectors. The pharmacists, the plumbers, the senior staff, the administrators, physiotherapists, they have a coalition.
Yes.
Are you getting me?
That's what I hear, yeah.
But during this period, doctors and nurses, we are not on strike. Other healthcare providers that normally join us to provide other resources, they are on strike. Are you getting me?
Yes.
That has prevented us from running our full-blown services. So the few ones that come to the clinic is what we attend to. Are you getting me?
Yes.
You cannot walk beyond the philosophy. I'm supposed to align my philosophy with the philosophy and the policy of my organization. In Nigeria, healthcare profession is moving. It wasn't the way it was 10, 15 years ago. But the pace at which healthcare sector in Nigeria is moving is still far, far, far behind to that of United States, UK, Canada, and other parts of the world like Australia. I want to believe you agree with me.
Somehow, yeah, I know you are a management staff. You are by their standard, you are going to be defending them even as wrong as they are. But that's a different. I understand because I'm a nurse myself. I worked.
Do you want to listen to me?
Yeah, listen. I'm listening.
It is the right standard, though. But as much as we can, you cannot compare the resources, both human and materials, what we have in Nigeria with what you have in the United States. Do you understand what I'm saying?
No, there are more resources in Nigeria than there are in the United States. The problem is the mismanagement of the resources because of the tragedy of leadership at all levels. Yes. I'm hearing you. Yes. So, it baffles me. I left Nigeria. I worked in Nigeria as a nurse. I worked at the National Orthopedic Hospital as a nurse. It was the same problem. The problem of you don't have the capacity to deliver what you are supposed to deliver as a nurse. The nurses are always improvising and being blamed
is far apart.
Mm.
We are nursing practice here, but effective communication is very sacrosanct. If doctor could follow their own line of hierarchy until they discharge those patients, and our nurses did not report anything to us until it was the medical director who called me by herself.
Yes.
And what we are trying to identify that day was, you could have told us. We could have told them we do not have water to manage your patients.
But I heard somebody was blaming her for not buying a sachet water. How was she going to buy sachet water? With whose money?
No, sir.
Yes.
It was not true. It was, if I didn't ask her to provide water, if I didn't ask her to sweep her immediate environment, how possible will I ask her to be using her money? You know, some of these lies trend a lot.
Mm.
We are the one who were on ground, and come now, you can extend your investigation to other members of staff. Ask them if any of us, nurse leaders at FMC, ask any of our members to go and give their money to buy sachet water. Despite the strike, I like not to anything I tell you. Despite the strike, management used to bring one of the senior plumbing plumber in what department twice a week for the sake of the nurses to come and pump water for us. Despite the fact that the striking task force of Joesu, they used to raise curses on that man for coming to on water for nurses. Nurses are saboteur. Nurses are the one coming to the hospital that is not making government to attend to their needs. Management still make efforts to bring that man to the hospital to pump water twice in a week. You see, how do you reconcile a disgruntled nurse, uncooperative, lazy nurse, a nurse who doesn't uphold principle of nursing ethics and practices with other things? If the management like, let them not provide anything. But your own duty as a nurse is to document. I am on duty. I have patients, but I could not do my nursing job due to so reason. Pass it to me. Like last week, I learned national grid collapse. There was no light. No officer to come and on generator. They came to me. I calculated the time the national grid collapsed. As at the time we are reporting to the medical director, it was 16 hours that we are in blackout.
Blackout, yeah.
And no officer to come and on them. I put it. I told the supervisor who came to report, 16 hours. Immediately, our MD saw that note. He swung into action. He went and looked for generator. That nurses must not be hot. This is the period of insecurity. And he did all our best. That is what we are saying. If the management like, let them not provide things for us. But our own is, as a nurse, we were taught that if you don't document, nothing written, nothing done.
Done, absolutely.
It will be counted as negligence. We did not blame Nurse Odusola for not getting water. What we identified was you advise doctor to tell their superiors until they discharge the patients. You did not tell us who are your nurse leaders that I couldn't do this because of this. Sir, you will manage what you have as a nurse. In the US, you may be privileged and opportune to be using PAC system. But what we still do in this place is when they come, set the tray for them. I don't know whether you get me.
I get it, but that's an outdated practice. That's what we did years ago, 30, 40 years ago. If they are still doing that in Nigeria, then Nigeria is not moving anywhere. Yes.
Sir, listen.
Yes.
I agree totally with US. I agree totally with you. Documentation, reporting is very, very important.
Very important. I agree with you 100%.
If what happened that day,
if it is not written, it's not done. Yes.
That you made your patient to go unattended to, and without communicating your upline manager, I'm sure it will not be trending in a negative way. That nurse will have been made to come and tell you the reason why inaction or action, what it has caused on the patient.
I agree. I agree with you. I agree with you. Documentation, communication is key, to effective management. Very, very important.
Exactly.
It's very, very important. So I'm
good. Send your people to come and investigate. I will bring out a departmental file for you. I was not even the one who has given her query of misconduct, careless talk, all manners of unruly behavior in workplace. I'll be glad to give you. I will be glad. But because they want to infect judgment, they want to infect discipline, that's why you see them see, oh man, how can I be injured? And I'll still be the one. Take my photograph, put it. A matter we discuss in an open place. And many leaders identify. Nobody blame her for lack of water, lack of this, but why did you not tell us? Why must you disgrace us up to the... And you know all these MDs, the way they will talk to us. But if you are the one who had brought the matter to us, we will be the one to take it to them that we don't have water and you don't expect us to go provide water. At least when there was no light, national grid collapsed. The matter went to from us to her. I even quoted lights stopped this time and up to this time, and immediately she called the head of works and engineering, please go and get the generator. Those people will work. I don't want them to be in the dark. As bad as Nigeria is, they still do the what they can do. And most of these policy changes also comes with nursing council. And now, National Association of Nigerian Nurses and Midwives, they also have a lot to do.
Yes.
By making us to fit and key into the international best practices.
You're right.
That's why you see our nurses running away.
Yes.
Only to where they're getting it right. Nursing council have a lot of work to do. And I am aware, sir. Let me tell you this emphatically.
Yes.
A narrator who was there on the 18th, when they brought Odusola that she claimed she was bleeding, because if not for the management, I wanted to sue Sahara Reporter, I wanted to sue Amebo, I wanted to sue Elegant Nurses and Ogun State Nurses for publishing unfounded rumor against me. The day they brought her that she claimed she was having bleeding, it was chemical related something, and I called for forensic analysis.
Yes.
Yes. I am demanding, if not the management, who is accusing me and is making them to be trending negatively against me. It was our Ogun State now chairman, Comrade Adedoke Bello. You can put it down and let her come and challenge me. An eyewitness who was there narrated that when the chairman of Ogun State now came, she started molesting everybody. including the units now, that they don't have name in FMC. Go and carry the placard against her. She was the one who instigated Odusola two brothers to call me that they come and beat me in the office. They should use police to arrest me. Somebody is supposed to wade in into the matter and the sort of it. If they are the one that is affected by this matter, I would have killed it. When I was a union leader, I don't allow gaps. Because what they are threatening now is to their shame. The truth will prevail. It was Nurse Adejoke Bello, the president of Ogun State Nigeria, who came to fuel the crisis politically. And the reason is this.
Are you a politician?
I am a unionist. I've told you.
Okay. No. When you say politically, I was talking about like you're in the mainstream Nigerian politics. That's what I mean.
No, I have not.
Okay.
So she was the one, because the people there said, rather than calming the situation down, she was the one helping them, telling Nurse Odusola's sister-in-law to take camera, to put it on social media, and to come and beat me, to come and that one. Before some people told them that, you people should be very careful. Find out the truth before you step out. It was rather late for them. They had already put it on the social media, and they are now looking for a way. Sir, sit down to study all their posts. You will see a lot of contradiction. She started the argument I have with my HOD. A reasonable, normal civil servant supposed not to be arguing with her HOD. And I didn't come to your unit. This matter is between us, Odusola, and the management of FMC, because it was the medical director who called me as the head of nursing. And when she called me and lodged a complaint, my thing is to do investigation. Fair hearing to know what happened in your unit. And I don't think that is too much for me to ask. And I don't think it is too much for me to also identify the errors of not communicating enough, the error of negligence by allowing the patient to be discharged without the knowledge of the immediate supervisor and the head of nursing department. And I don't think it is too much for me to also issue out queries for them to explain to the medical director what happened, why this and that. Others did it. Others are not trending on social media. She was not the only one who was giving query to explain. But it was this litigation all about is from Nurse Adejoke Bello, the Ogun State Nigeria. And let me tell you the simple reason. Since she became Ogun State Nigeria 2 years ago, she has not been coming to work at all. I mean, did you know this before? Anytime we have special assignments, we bring the notice of our assignments to our HODs and the management. We can go for 1 year. Once it is official notice, junior meeting, the day she has never been coming to duty. And our unit has been giving me trouble. Even 2 days ago, 2 of our nurses wanted to beat their unit head. She doesn't come, even if it is once in a week or twice a week. And I call her, please be coming. Even if it is once or twice. And she never yielded. So maybe those are the things that are now looking for a way. But they cannot get me. Because I know the Bible says, ye shall know the truth. And the truth
shall set you free.
If only Amebo, online blogger, has called me the way you have called me, I will have taken my time to explain. So he will balance. And I called him. Professional journalist, supposed to balance your story. Now you publish this story, alleged murder, alleged pandemonium. Sir, let me say this. If that day I injured her or inflicted injury, we will not leave that our meeting place. If we have pandemonium that day, the medical director, all the community will have been mobilized to our meeting place. It is for you to know this. And I am calling for forensic experiment of, of that injury. They don't have evidence. They are just bamboozling and confusing the populace. I think I've given you enough background and enough insight into
Yes,
this issue.
yes, and I very deeply and sincerely appreciate that and appreciate you on behalf of ONN for the insight and the background information you have given. I tried to reach Nurse Odusola. She did not feel like she wanted to talk to the media again for the reason you advanced, but that is fine. I've heard you. I'm a nurse myself. I want the best for the nurses in Nigeria, even if I don't live in Nigeria and perhaps not coming ever to come and practice nursing in Nigeria anymore. A few years ago, this is off of what we are talking about now. A few years ago, something happened about nursing, and I called the 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 is it the chairman now, whoever, a secretary of the Nigerian Nursing and Midwifery Council, one Adamu, something. I think it's a Fulani guy. And then the way he responded made me weep, and I got more involved and in the whole thing. He lied in the first place, the very first conversation I had with him, and then sadly, when I tried to get more involved, some nurses called me and then sadly told me that what we should do is to find a way to contribute some money and bring him to Dubai, so me and him and others could meet. Some Nigerian nurses who perhaps live outside Nigeria. They thought that I was wondering why I should be going paying for him to come to Dubai and for me to go and meet him over a professional issue, bordering on his negligence. And it's been going on for a very long time. And now you are a senior nurse. If I was in Nigeria, perhaps I would have retired some years ago, maybe. But now I want to ask a question. Every generation, every mother, every parent, they want the best for their children. Now, I want to ask you, as a senior nurse, I don't know how long you have, to be in service. There's one thing I've observed about Nigerian nurses, and it bothers me really seriously. The nurses there are not free to be themselves. They are not free to express themselves, and they generally lack self confidence, and it's not good for the profession.
Sir,
And, yes.
it depends on the individual. I was trained in the US for my masters of science in leadership and management.
Yes.
I am very confident. I have assertiveness.
Yeah.
I have self-concept.
Yeah.
I have self-actualization.
Uh-huh.
It depends on you.
Yeah, I think that is you. That is you. But I'm looking at the collective generally, and it starts from the school of it starts from the school of nursing. Yeah. No, it starts from the school of nursing.
You cannot cope
The yes.
When you look at Nigerian system,
Yes.
and you feel you cannot cope with it, you redesign your life now, and you left for a better place.
Yeah, no, but again, because of my love.
Your big lies in you.
Yes, but because of it's a general thing. It's not like yeah, that was how I broke out. I didn't allow anybody repress me. I didn't allow anybody oppress me. No, from being a student nurse to the last. Let me shock you. In my final year, the year of life and death, a clinical instructor. He's a senior nurse, you know, and over a girl that was said to be my girlfriend. He wanted to fail me. That was just because Why should I be the boyfriend of that girl? He made up. He doesn't. I have not had any professional encounter with him. He just wanted to fail me, perhaps because he was interested in the girl. And then nurses, as usual, they started begging on my behalf. So I told them, why are you begging him? Begging for what? I didn't do anything to him. So on the final, yeah, on the final examination day, he was supposed to be my examiner. Everybody was like, oh, smart, as bright as you are going to fail. I said, I'm not going to fail. But I didn't tell them what I had in mind. I left them. And then he walked up to me and said, yes, I got you. So I told him, okay, sir, you know what? You are not going to examine me because there's nothing I'm going to do for you that will impress you to pass me. So I'm declining right now and right here. I shot at him and then jumped into the next bus, went straight to the school, went to meet the school principal. And I told him, this man, and luckily the man was a good man. He told me, we know about you. He went into my academic record. He said, no, we will not allow that happen to you. He gave me a different examiner. Yes, my microbiology teacher was my examiner. That was how I escaped Mr. Osika from failing. Yes. So this vindictiveness in nursing is generational. And I'm not accusing you of it because you have just thoroughly explained to me. Mr. Odusola, if you are listening to me and listening to this conversation, I want to tell you this. If everything you said about this woman was false, please retract it and apologize to her. If based on what she said, if you lied to her, if you lied about her because of any advantage you want to get, I plead in the name of God, do not do it because that is dangerous defamation. If you, in your heart of heart, know that you did not have any physical contact, she did not hit you to the point of bringing you down, and then you landed in a hospital, please, please lower your guard, apologize, and go forward. But if you know that she really did, then you can proceed and do whatever you want to do as a citizen of Nigeria because the law will be on your side. But if you're lying for any kind of thing, just to bring her down and tarnish her image, I am not going to be a part of it. And this is the reason why I invited her for the whole people to hear her. And you have made a case. I'm very happy that we established this contact. I'm going to be calling you, and perhaps I will interview you on a more professional ground, something that has to do with professionalism and how best we can push the nursing profession forward in a manner that will begin to graduate really confident, smart, and assertive nurses. Thank you very much for being part of this conversation, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. And you have a good day. All right. Bye-bye. Yes. Dear nurses, Nigerians, and our viewers from within Nigeria, across Africa and around the world, you heard this conversation bordering about alleged violence in a workplace involving this Mrs. Ganiat Fago Yimbo, the head nurse at the FMC Abeokuta. Yes, you heard her. We had over nearly an hour conversation with her, maybe about 30 minutes, going to 45 minutes conversation. And I wish I could speak with Miss Odusola, about this, but efforts made to talk to her. She didn't want to talk to the media on this, but I am happy that we had this conversation. And nurses in Nigeria, some of you know how involved I was at the time with you guys. I even suffered an attempted blackmail, because somebody wanted to tarnish my image. People that you want to help, yeah. So that's the thing. Nurses, you need time to shape up in Nigeria and be a part of a greater involvement. And what I wanted to achieve for the nurses in Nigeria was simple. The way you choose your leadership is horrendous. And the way you choose your leadership is similar to the way Nigeria chooses its leadership. The same corrupt way of choosing leadership. where some people driven by economics will gang up and elect themselves as NAM leaders at all levels. I wanted something more democratic that will involve every nurse to choose the best as their leader, as their leaders. And if you continue the same trajectory that you have been using, you will never get anywhere. Yes, I had a lawsuit on behalf of the nurses in Nigeria who sabotaged me. It was nurses. Some even accused me that I wanted to take control of the bank account of NAM. What do I have to do with it? That is none of my business. I wasn't interested. I've never asked for it. Never, never, never. Yes, blackmailers. So that's how they use the people. They use the nurses just like Nigeria uses uh, Nigerians to destroy those who can fight for them. So I had to withdraw and let them be. And I, with millions of my hard-earned money from here, stuck. But that's okay. But I still love the profession. When I see any reason to jump in, as this case, especially involving violence, yes, I don't like violence against anyone. I hate it. So I am hoping that her position is the true position. And I'm calling on Nurse Odusola, if the position she had that she made public that is that got the attention of Sahara reporters and other media organizations in Nigeria to the extent of the police inspector general getting involved and ordering investigation in it. If it is not true, please beat a retreat. Beat a retreat. But if it is true, go all the way because the law will be on your side. But it's in a terrible Nigeria where the justice system can be perverted, you know. So with this, we come to the close of this section of ONN special report. And I'm calling on those nurses, yes, who joined today. Please share this message with your colleagues in Nigeria and everywhere on earth. We need a more responsible nursing profession. We need a more a nursing profession that can be proud of producing some of the best. When I'm talking about self-confidence, majority of Nigerian nurses don't have self-confidence because not their own fault. If you go into school of nursing, you lose your self-confidence if you're not careful. Because the nursing education curriculum is so slavish. It makes you a robot, an idiot. I fought it all my years as a student nurse. I fought it all my years as a nursing practitioner in Nigeria. No profession in Nigeria is so badly treated the way nurses are. But sadly, the leadership of nursing is as corrupt as the leadership of Nigeria. The same thing. So something has to snap. And perhaps maybe this is one of the catalysts that we need to wake up as professionals. Bye for now, and I love you.